guys, it's 8:30 p.m. on October 27th, 2017, and I want to bring a little message to our friends over at Antifa and ask them a couple of basic questions. But I'm going to first show them this video of a police chase that took place September 8th, 2017, and I want you all to pay attention to how quickly the police know how to clear up undesirables from a highway when they are blocking traffic. Let's just take a listen.
Again, small SUV so far evading police successfully for at least 40-45 minutes, maybe even longer. We don't know why he's running. Multiple police cars in pursuit. Still on I-75. I-75 approaching Clark Street.
Just shot out a tire.
Does he have a flat front tire? Is his left front tire flat? Both of them or the left? Just the left. Looks like the driver's side front tire is toast, and he is on his rim. It's going to limit his mobility. He's going to pull over now and get out to run. We have over Interstate 75 traffic with multiple officers in pursuit running against traffic. Jumps up over a hood of a minivan. Officers try to get him. They've got the van surrounded. 5, 6, 7. They've got him down in custody. Running on highway or against highway traffic. Climbing the hood and windshield of that SUV, that minivan right there. One of the most dramatic police chases you will ever see come to a conclusion right here live on Local 4, on Facebook Live, and live streaming on clickondetroit.com.
Okay, so here's my point. When the police have people breaking the law on the highway, they are very skilled at getting the person and the people out of the way. It takes about 2 more minutes, and this guy's in a cop car, and that's the end of that. But that is not what we see here. So I have a question to our friends who would like to overthrow the U.S. government because they believe that Trump and Pence are so bad. I have a question for you guys. Why did you need the U.S. government to help you? How come we see here that when you guys blocked down the highway, the LA highway, you guys didn't do this by yourselves? No, I was doing some research the other day, and this picture caught my eye, and I thought, how did that happen? These guys, yes, I can understand maybe they all stopped or something, they somehow got in the middle of the highway, but what the hell are all these police cars doing letting this happen? Because as I did some more research into this, I was shocked to see this video on your main webpage, refusefascism.org. And I'm going to play a couple minutes of this, and I want to show you guys, in case you don't know how this was orchestrated, I'm going to show you. This is a 33-minute video, and one of the first cars at the scene. We don't see how this was coordinated. We don't see that. But we do see who was there at the very beginning, at the very onset of this. We see Antifa, who helped you do this. Okay? It's not lost on us, because I'm going to show people, and I'm going to show them how stupid you guys really are. And I want to ask you guys a very basic question. After I point out a little bit more about how you couldn't have pulled this off all by yourself if these cops didn't help you. Because as we go forward in this video, we find that the cops are effectively blocking the traffic that was just about ready to get out of the car and kick your asses. Yeah, this guy right here, he almost flattened one of you guys. Now, I'm going to make the point right now to all the people who aren't Antifa supporters that when I watched this video, my blood boiled. This is a 33-minute long disgrace. And I had a very strong reaction. And I have to admit, even though I'm a disciple of Jesus Christ, I sat there watching in my heart, and I repent of this, but I wish this guy had took his foot off the brake and let this knucklehead have it. And that's the exact point of this kind of an exercise, is to get even a disciple of Jesus Christ who's supposed to love their enemy to be angry like this. And it worked. It worked. I do repent of that emotion and wish I hadn't felt that way. But that's why I'm making this video, because I want everybody who's watching this now to give this some thought. Because our country is under attack. It's been hijacked. Our country has been hijacked. And unfortunately, communism, the way it works is it uses what they call useful idiots. Useful idiots. It's usually younger people, people who don't have a lot of means, people who are very easily manipulated by propaganda. And it gets them to do stupid stuff like this with the help of the powers that back them. Now, they don't see that. They don't see that. These maybe, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people. These 8 people know how much the police helped them do this. These 8 people know. But the hundreds of Antifa supporters who watch this and were like, yeah, man, that's great, awesome, you know, F Trump and Pence. They're not using any critical thinking. They're not looking at the fact that there's a cop car here and that there was a cop car helping set it up, and then it took 33 minutes for the cops to take this charade down. See, this is propaganda, guys. This is propaganda against the Antifa people. It's propaganda against the Trump supporters. It's propaganda against the Christians. In fact, this video is propaganda against the entire populace of the United States of America, and its only purpose is to divide us. It's to get us to hate each other. And that needs to be pointed out because it's happening. It's happening strategically with the repeal of the Smith-Mundt Act. Our media has been hijacked. Our education system has been hijacked. And the kids who are reacting to this, who are cheering it on, who are using their rebellious spirit as a normal part of being teenagers and young adults, they're being manipulated. And we are being baited into fighting this. Black lives matter, but so do white lives, guys. All lives matter. Jesus Christ said, love your neighbor as yourself. Love your enemy, he said. Now, come on, you guys hate Christians? And that's the best law you're ever going to find. I'm telling you, any of your leaders are never going to come up with a law that's more wise than that. Because if you love other people as you want to be loved, there will be no war. There will be no fascism, as you call it. There will be no communism, no tyranny. If you love your neighbor as yourself, we don't need other laws. But unfortunately, there are those of us who preach these things, and we're considered the bad guys. By whom? By those who would orchestrate these events. These events right here. And who's orchestrating them? Well, obviously, the insiders of our government. Because somebody allowed these police to be involved in this. And I think that's really important to point out here. Because it gets really dangerous. I'm going to bring this up to another, let me bring it up to right here. I'm going to play a moment of what somebody yells. Somebody who's not on your side yells. And it's worth hearing, guys. It's for everybody. It's worth hearing no matter what side of this equation you fall on. Let me play this for you here if I can cue it up. Hang in there. Did you hear that? Did you hear what that guy said right up there? I'll play it again if you didn't hear it. Your opposition said, just shoot him. Now this guy here exercised a tremendous amount of restraint. Like I said, I was actually I have to repent of it, but I was actually rooting for him to take his foot off the brake. This is provocative, you guys. And the reactions from people who normally wouldn't hate you is to say, just shoot him. That is the defiling of the American people to the maximum. And that is on purpose. It is on purpose that the police assisted you in blocking all the traffic so that this kind of response could be solicited against you. And the worst thing is you guys don't realize, you Antifa people don't realize that those who are giving you those signs and those who are printing your memes and those who are organizing your protests, they also say, just shoot them. They don't care about you because they haven't even answered a basic question. I've read your website. I've gone through what you guys are complaining about. I've read the entire call here. I see where you say that women don't have reproductive rights and we're treated as we're oppressed because we can't have abortions. You guys, go get your abortions. Do it. Your life is going to suck forever because it's a child you're killing. We might warn you. The Christians, we try to warn you guys because it's really going to suck to be you after you have that abortion. And we know the power, saving grace of Jesus Christ and the hope that there is in a child. But you guys have convinced yourself of lies. You guys have convinced yourself of all these nightmares that aren't nightmares. The whole planet is in peril from a regime that denies global warming and shreds all environmental protections. What? Seriously? And your suggestion is to end this nightmare. Only the determined struggle of millions of people acting together with courage and conviction can drive this regime from power, period, end of sentence. And then it says how to drive this regime from power. And your determination, spread the word and organize now, be a part of making history. Don't let it be said that you stood aside when there was still a chance to stop a regime that imperils humanity and the earth itself. Join in taking to the streets and public squares, day after day and night after night, demonstrating that in the name of humanity, we refuse to accept fascism in America. And then that's it. What? That's it? You guys are missing something. So you guys want to overthrow Trump and Pence and end fascism in America. You guys, then what? If the Trump and Pence regime must go, what happens next? Have you not even considered what happens when you overthrow or topple a government? I'm going to remind you people that this is the United States of America. This isn't Belize, okay? This is a country that is the most powerful nation on earth. If you guys want to take out Trump and Pence, there's a way to do it through elections. You could even get them, I don't know, what's it called, when they get them taken out of office by signing petitions and stuff. But the problem is you guys don't have any solution for what comes next. That is typical communism. That is what the Zionist communists have done for 100 years in every overthrow of every regime that has resulted in communism. You guys complain it's fascism, but haven't you guys ever studied history whatsoever at all? This isn't the first time you have a bunch of young, stupid people who want to overthrow their government. You aren't the first people to have a view of a utopian world where women aren't oppressed and gays can be free. This has happened since the Roman Empire, guys. And it's always the same problem. They rile you guys up. You do stupid stuff like this. You piss everybody off. And sometimes you guys even overthrow the government. But what you fail to realize is that the government has been involved with your overthrow the entire time. Your government has been involved in the overthrow the entire time. I just showed you that when cops want to clear up trash off the highway, they do it real quick. The fact that you guys got 33 minutes to do this were 33 minutes that were given to you by your governor. There's absolutely no way they couldn't have cleared this up in a matter of 5 minutes. May have broken an ankle or an arm, Probably wouldn't have been so great. But when the cops want to get rid of trash on the highway, they know how to clean up an accident. And you guys are the accident. You guys don't realize that you are being used. You might have disagreements with your fellow Americans, but this is not how they're resolved, because all you're doing is serving tyrants. You guys don't have an official who you want to take over for Trump and Pence. But believe me, the organizers of this group, who's buying your signs, who's printing your banners, who's advocating your slogans, who's organizing these events, these guys, they have a candidate. They know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what's going to happen after you, quote unquote, get Trump and Pence removed, which isn't going to happen, you guys. It's not going to happen, and I'll tell you why it's not going to happen. Because Trump has been a complete icon on the world stage for absolutely no reason for over 30 years. Now, let me explain this to you. Oprah Winfrey would be really quick to interview somebody like Michael Jordan or any movie star. But for some reason, in 1980, she decided to interview Donald Trump. Why? Why was Donald Trump positioned before our American audience in the 80s? He wasn't famous for anything at all. In fact, he went bankrupt. He had a crazy accented wife. Nobody really cared about him. He was not really important. Nobody cared about Donald Trump. But year after year after year, whether it was the birth certificate issue with Obama, that he obviously never pursued, you know, or the television shows that my grandma used to watch, she thought it was the greatest thing. You're fired. You guys, we have been positioned to take Donald Trump as our president. He has been imported into our psyche since the 80s, before you Antifa people were even born. My point to you is this, is that there have been people controlling this protest for 4 decades. You kids are just being used as useful idiots. What you don't understand is that this could not have happened if the police weren't there to help you. You don't have answers to who's going to take over after you remove Trump and Pence. And what you fail to realize is that Trump and Pence are behind it. They are Zionists. Our country has been overtaken not by fascists, but by communist Zionists. And you kids have been lied to. And your own American fellow countrymen are yelling from overpasses, just shoot them. You guys, you are at great risk. You are useful idiots. And if we don't stop you, the people who oppose you, if we can't stop you in peace with my message, which is peaceful, it's telling you guys to research and look into the people who are backing you, who are buying your signs, who are creating your memes, who are organizing your demonstrations. If we can't stop you by appealing to your logic, then there are far less educated people who are your peers who oppose you, who will not be so reserved in keeping their foot on the brake one of these days. They are just as stupid as you are in saying, just shoot them, and actually carrying guns to shoot you. And if they don't get you, and you succeed at this blind vision, it is honestly, truly a blind vision, because you don't have any solutions. You're not advocating for anything. If you succeed, because you actually get the discord and the chaos that you want in this country, then the people who you serve will kill you. Because that is what has happened repeatedly in history, time and time again. The useful idiots are the first ones to die. Gay people, you don't realize you advocate for communism, but you do. And the communists are not very tolerant of gays. They're the first ones put in the gulags. They're the first ones whose reprehensible behavior is murdered by communists. Communism is not very kind to gays. Communism is certainly not very kind to protesters. So you guys think you live in a fascist nation now, but you're working for communists, it's going to get worse. I don't disagree that we are a fascist nation. I don't disagree with a lot of the things that point to fascism. But you kids don't even realize what they are. The fact that you can't go to school without pumping your kids full of aluminum, that is something to protest. That's fascism. Not the fact that you guys can't have abortion on demand. You can. They're lying to you. You people are being rallied and used. So the entire point of this entire video is to point that out to the people who support Antifa. And to have you guys please research what you are doing to our country. Not because our country it should stay as is with Pence and Trump. If you don't like them, then vote them out of office. But my message to you is this, that historically speaking, for the last 100 years, every time people like you guys get riled up in ignorance, and this is vast ignorance, because if you people don't see that you're actually supported by the very government you oppose, you guys are blind. But this was allowed to happen by very powerful people who have been buying your slogans and printing your memes and organizing your events and paying you the $500 a day it costs them to get you to rally at certain places and do things like that. In the meantime, you guys are causing trouble, and it doesn't end well. For 100 years, the useful idiots are the first ones to die after the communists take over. And how can you tell a communist? A communist rallies people just like you with absolutely no vision. You don't have any proposals. You don't have any solutions here. You just want to get rid of Trump and Pence, and nobody's asking, then what? I'm telling you, the then what is your death. The one question that you aren't asking is the one question that certifies 100% with historical proof, regime after regime after regime, that if you guys don't know what you're putting in power, it is your lives that will end in the success of your objectives. You support people who are using you. You don't realize they are supporting you too. And that's why I'm making this video. Now, the second part of my message is to my fellow Christians, to my fellow Americans, the Trump supporters and the non-Trump supporters. I watched this video and it pissed me off. I'm a Christian. I pray to God and Jesus every day through Jesus to God. God is Jesus. I pray to not have this reaction again. But when I watch this, you guys, I repent of it. But I was pissed. It's going to happen. This kind of stuff is going to happen. And we're going to be provoked. And my prayer and sincere appeal to you guys is do not react to these useful idiots. Please do not react to them. Because we are becoming the instruments by which we are being destroyed. These kids can't see it. But we know better. We know that they are instruments that are being manipulated. But we can't fall for the manipulation too. Black people, white people, male, female, gay, straight, you guys. It's all about divide and conquer, and we have been baited by people who are very well organized. Look at these cops help this chaos. The very system that they oppose is the system that they think that they oppose is the system that is putting them in place to be provocateurs. Please, guys, don't be provoked. Our nation is under attack because we've been hijacked by communist Zionists. We can't give in. We just can't.
your mask off.
You think I want to get recognized by you and all these pigs? Oh,
Take your mask off.
We can't just do rallies. We have to fight back. There will be casualties on both sides. There will be, because people have to die to make a change in this world.
To the world. So, I'm now back to being an activist citizen and part of the resistance. The resistance. The resistance. The resistance. The resistance.
Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace.